Good evening and welcome to 100% LCFC. My name is Phil and this is the Monday night FANZONE. Thank you for everybody who is watching. If you can as ever like and share this video, that'd be great. But most importantly, get your views in and get your comments in. Without your views, without your comments, we don't have much of a show because I just talk back to what you want to say. Mick Paget is the first one in and watching. Good evening, Mick. How are you? Are you pleased that we are third, Mick? Who isn't pleased? Nice, surprising. Well, is it a surprising start to the season? Jordan's watching, and so's Craig. Bailey Finmore. Hi, how are you, Bailey? What do you reckon to the start of the season? I know I'm gonna eat my words because I said I thought it was a tough start to the season in videos before the season started. And I'm going to stick to that. I think it is a very tough start to the season, but I think we're doing very, very well. Andy Price is watching. Andy Young is watching. Carlos, hi Carlos, how are you? Lesson Freer, how are you? Good evening to you as well. Dave Critchlow is watching. Thank you, Dave. Let me know your views. Get your comments in. That's what I want. David Gavin is watching from Ireland. Good evening to you, David. Where are you in Ireland? Let's have a look. Sligo. I'm not sure I'm saying that right, David. Paul Spilling is watching. Good evening, Paul. Glory days are coming back, says Paul. I'm going to say I'm slightly surprised, very, very pleased at how well we are doing. Steve Yates, hi, how are you? Get your views in, Steve. Get your comments in. Jason Mills, good evening. Michael Wheatley, good evening, Michael. Michael Wheatley is saying, oh no, sorry, Carlos says, what about Söyüncü, man of the match? We will talk about that. It was a big debate after, hope you saw the video with Simon and Chappers. Anthony was there. And some other guys, which was great. We want more and more fans to come and find us after the game outside the Blues Bar, after every match. Who was your man of the match? Big debate. Soyuncu for some. Jamie Vardy for many. I've got to be honest, I'm going to nail Michael as to the flagpole, as they say. Has to be Jamie Vardy, and that's why I put it in the comments. And that leads us nicely into the first debate. Is that the best you've seen Jamie Vardy in a long time? Is that the best you've ever seen Jamie Vardy, maybe? He was absolutely on fire. He was a terrier around the whole pitch. Looks fitter than ever. Is that as good as Jamie Vardy has ever been? Is he as good as the Premier League winning season? That's one of my first questions to you about Jamie Vardy. I really want to talk about him with you. Great start to the season, says Bailey Finmore. Lesson Freer says we're going to go do a season unbeaten. I think that's a slight tongue in the cheek. Ivan Nylander is saying he's watching from Sierra Leone in Africa. We can be in the UEFA Cup this season. Well, going for Europe. Stephen Price, good evening to you, Stephen. Thanks for watching. What did you reckon, Stephen? Jamie Vardy or Söyüncü, who was your man of the match? Quite a few players had a good match as well, but they were definitely the two highlights. Steve Yates saying, thought Brighton had an under par game for a change. Usually my first name on the team sheet. Do you know, Steve, a few people said that. I must be seeing a different game because I went live at half time, sneaked out the ground, out the back of the family stand and did a quick live. I thought Brighton was having an immense game. I really did. So, and I think quite a few thought Brighton was having a great game, but I know that a few people thought he was under par. So it just shows you what a different game we'll see. Jordan Williams is saying, yes, Vards was on fire. John Squires is watching. John, get your comments in. Let me know what you think. Two things. Good evening to you. David Gavin saying, we're up there purely on merit. Jamie was the man of the match for me. Yeah, he was for me. Söyüncü, I'm pleased with Söyüncü. He did well. Very well. Was he slightly at fault for their first goal? Yeah, maybe. But I'm not going to let that, blur what was a great game for him. Mick Paget saying, when Vards gets the service, he will score. Mick, I think you bang on with that, to be fair, Mick. Chilwell, watching that Chilwell ball through, I mean, for a start, it helps us when teams like Bournemouth come and have a go. I said before the game to people, I thought Bournemouth, if I was Bournemouth, if I was any team, other than the top 4 or 5, quality teams in the side, if it was any other team, I'd come to Leicester and just park the bus. And I think we might struggle. Maybe we won't this season. But Bournemouth, thank you very much, came and attacked us and gave us plenty of space. And that's exactly what happened with Ben Chilwell's through ball. Remind us of Danny Drinkwater in the Premier League winning season. Just almost one touch, boom, smacked it forward and released Vardy. That's what Vardy needs. Keith saying, first time Vards has had the service. Yeah, absolutely. Jason Mills saying, Vardy looks hungrier and mad for it already. He does. He's got a look of the devil in him. Maybe he realises he's only got a couple of seasons left. I don't know. He looks like he could go on forever. Martin Jerem says, and we're going to talk about that in a bit, Martin, can't wait for Old Trafford. Hold the Old Trafford chat for a bit. We will get onto that because that is, I think we're all starting to really rub our hands with that. Stuart Child saying, Vardy must be on extra pork pies and Red Bull before the match. Steve Yates is saying, Vardy definitely on fire. What a great game. Is that the best you've seen him, guys? Is that the best you've seen him since the 2015-16 season? Stephen Price saying Vardy's better than that season, the 2015-16 season. Pete Hyde saying, yes, Vardy is back. Alex Green saying, I thought Albrighton had a great match. Me too. Me too, Alex. Absolutely. I thought Mark Albrighton had a great game. A little bit surprised he went off on about the 60th minute, but... you know, hey, I'm not going to criticise Brendan Rodgers in the slightest for Saturday. I thought his starting team was worked out very, very well. I thought his game management as the game progressed was fantastic. Really worked out really, really well. Some substitutions came at the right time. I'm even going to give Demarai Gray some big praise in this. I thought he came on. He's been definitely sidelined. He's been given some grief, I think, in the press a bit by not playing. And I thought Demarai Gray came on and showed great effort. Set up a couple of chances. A couple of just Demarai Gray at times just should have scored a goal. Frustrating, still frustrating, but I thought he had a very good game. Jordan saying Söyüncü was his man of the match. Andy Bryce saying, are you Albrighton's dad? You cheeky little... I suppose I probably am old enough to be it. I'm not old enough. Thanks, Andy Price, for saying that I'm old enough. That is making me feel old when I'm like, could be the players' dads. I know I could be, actually. I wish I was. They could buy me a new house. Darren is saying, Doreen Astley saying, hello to Joanna Astley. Hi, Joanna. Thanks for a quick chat. Tried to get her to come on camera after the match on Saturday, but she wouldn't come on. Simon Gimson is watching. Hi, Simon. How are you? Sam Perkins saying, Albrighton was all right. At least better than how Perez has been doing. Well, there you go. There you go. Sam, I would agree with you. I would say that Albrighton certainly had a better game than Perez has been having. And again, I've said it many times, I would definitely have Albrighton in my starting team. Michael Wheatley is saying they said his fitness is better than ever before. He's talking about Jamie Vardy. Simon Mack is watching. Hi, Simon. I hope you've all read Simon Mack's pre-match stuff, but his post-match report as well. It's live on LeicesterFanTV.com, which is our website. So go and read Simon's thoughts, his views, some great reporting from Simon. Andy does a live video before every home match. That's a regular now. All part of this new extra content we're giving you. Mick Paget saying Albrighton gives 110% every game. He certainly does. Andrew Turlington is saying Vardy has got his mojo back. He certainly has. I mean, I think I'm right. There's some stat where I think Jamie Vardy, he scored about 11 goals since Brendan Rodgers has been in. I think that's the highest amount of goals from any Premier League player in that same period. But check the stats out for me. Who knows? Scott Ryan. Hi, Scott. How are you? Saying we love Leicester. We love Leicester. Mark Stevenson is saying definitely top 4 for me. I know all of a sudden we're only 4 games in, but people are already starting to say, could it be top 4? I'm not sure about that. Lewis is making me laugh because he's saying Brendan Rodgers out. I know you're just joking, Lewis. We know you're joking. Gareth Buckley is saying Rodgers has got us playing quality football and got Vardy back to form. He certainly has. Or I'm going to be a bit facetious. I don't know if Jamie Vardy can turn it off and turn it on. And I'm not sure if he was turning it off under you know who. I'm not even going to say his name. Mick Paget saying feed Vards the ball hits the net. It does. We all know it. It's not rocket science, is it? We've got one of the best strikers in the Premier League, Jamie Vardy. We know how he likes the ball. Bloody hell, you or me could manage how to score goals with Jamie Vardy. Just give it to him and give it to him early so that he can chase onto it. Like somebody said, feed the ball to him. Joanna, here we go. Joanna, who won't come on camera, but saying here, Söyüncü is really showing us what he can do. Great asset. Not enough of our signings have made it before being sold on or loaned out. You're right, Joanna, that there's been a very mixed bag of signings over the period. It's like we sign one one good one, one bad one. It's pretty even on the signings. Let's not get carried away. Don Cole's watching all the way. Don did a live after the video. Hi Don, how are you? Thanks. Farflung Fox all the way in Myrtle Beach over in the States. Daz Davis is watching. Loads of people watching. Thank you for all watching. If you can like and share this video, brilliant. Cheers for that. Keep your comments coming in. We've talked a little bit about Vardy. Let's move on to Söyüncü now. Let's have a chat about him. It's all working out rather nice, isn't it, for him? It really is. We bought him this time last year on transfer deadline day, and he's not had a good year of it in a way because he couldn't speak much English, and they were really struggling with him, struggling to get him to slot in, blend in with the team, understand what was going on in the training. Really tricky, but Harry Maguire has gone, as we all know. Söyüncü, I'm going to say it, I think Söyüncü's looked better in these 4 games than Harry Maguire. If you agree with me, give us a like, give us a thumbs up if you agree with me. If you disagree, you could do just a heart, just to say I think he's doing well, but he's not as good as Harry Maguire. I genuinely think he has played better than Harry Maguire did last season for Leicester, and certainly from what I've seen of Harry Maguire, loads of likes coming in, thank you, lots of people agreeing with me. He's definitely playing better than Harry Maguire is this season for Man United. I don't know what you guys think about that. Let me know in the comments and I'll read them out here. I'm going to scoot so many comments. I'm sorry I can't read everybody's comments out, but I'm trying. Reese Mogrel is saying he's changed his brand of energy drink. I don't know if you're talking about Jamie Vardy there or Soyunchu. Andreas Tomlin. Hi, Andreas is all the way over in Cyprus. He's saying Vardy was outstanding. He certainly was. Lesson Freer is saying Harry Maguire. I can't read that out, Harry. I can't read it, but I know. Sorry, Lesson, but I know what you mean. Paul Spilling is saying Soyuncu is a unit, better than Maguire, no doubt. Well, I just think we've put 80 million quid in the kitty there. Somebody's made a very brave call by saying we're not going to buy a defender. We're not going to get mugged off spending a lot of money. Soyuncu can do the job. Well played to whoever made that. If it was Rudkin, if it was Rodgers, whoever, so far so good. Michael James is saying Maguire made too many mistakes. Soyuncu and Evans in force now. Yeah, I thought Soyuncu. Listen, I think Johnny Evans is having another great start to the season, don't get me wrong. But I think Soyuncu's looking better than Johnny Evans. Do you agree with that? Keith Goodall is saying Soyuncu undoubtedly one of the biggest members in the squad now. Yeah, I think we know what you're referring to there. Adi Gardner saying, if Maguire was 80 million, how much is Soyuncu worth now? Well, I would probably argue Soyuncu's probably worth 30 million now, Adi, at the moment. But hey, give it another season and we'll see, won't we? Harry Who says Michael Wheatley. Mick Paget is agreeing with me. Thanks, Mick. Daz Davis saying Perez getting a hard rap from some of our fans, which he thinks is unfair considering he's been playing out of position. Would like to see him in a 2 alongside Vardy. Oh. Oh, no beer tonight. My throat's going. Quality. Mick saying Soyuncu is better than Harry Who. Don Cole says Evans and Soyuncu have both been amazing, but they need to put a few goals in for everyone to truly forget about Slabhead. Well, yeah, you could be right, Don, but I tell you what, we've got the goal scorer, we've got Jamie Vardy, let's just feed the ball to him. Pete Hyde says Soyuncu reads the game better. Alan Jones saying, classic case of taking a chance when it turns up. So pleased for the lad, he's been terrific. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it is nice to see somebody like that who signed 12 months ago and has had nothing really in 12 months. I think he made 6 appearances for Leicester last season. That's a hard thing for an international player to come and take. He's had to sit on the bench, take his chance. Never heard him grumble. He's obviously a big, quiet lad and took his chance, and off we go. Joanne Astley saying Evans nearly scored and got stuck in the net. Yes, he did. Terry Payne is saying Slabhead didn't score that many goals. No, he got a few, but he was a threat, wasn't he? Aggie, all right, Aggie, saying it was a good win on Saturday. It certainly was. Aggie, you're right. Paul Spilling is saying the experts said that Maguire is a Van Dijk, but the difference is that Liverpool set up to not let Van Dijk tackle and Man United don't. That's where Maguire will struggle. Money in the bank. I agree. Now listen, it sort of brings us on to Man United, which is the next game away at Old Trafford. Anybody just a little bit excited about that? Anybody think that we could actually go to Man United for once? It's not our famous, fabulous hunting ground for Leicester. It's not the place we go and get many victories. But anybody actually think we're in with a chance? Listen, if you offered me a draw at Man United now, I'd probably consider it. But I really think we've got a chance of taking 3 points. And how sweet would those 3 points be? Get your views in and get your comments in if you think we actually have got a chance of beating Man United at their place. Keith Paul is saying he thinks we'll win. Gareth Taylor saying easy win. Hey Gareth, I don't think it'll be an easy win. You can't go to Man United and say it'll be an easy win. John Squires is saying a win for the Foxes. Steve Yates is saying I expect at least a point at Man United. Steve, I think I'm with you on that. I think, if I'm honest, that's what I'm saying. Would you take a point or not? Would you gamble? It's a bit like a Brucey bonus thing, isn't it? If they give you a point now, would you take it, or do you want to gamble it and play the game and go for 3? I think I'd take the gamble at the moment, because Man United, we said it before the start of the season, we need teams to slip up. I know we put that as a comment out yesterday. We need Leicester to be good this season. If we want to get in the top 6, if we want to win the Premier League, we need teams to slip up. Thing is, I can't see Man City and Liverpool slipping up. But definitely, listen, I watched Spurs against Arsenal yesterday. Both those teams are beatable. We could beat Spurs, we could beat Arsenal, and Spurs are coming up after Man United. Man United definitely look beatable at the moment. Chelsea, well, we just took a point away from them. Starting to feel like a bit disappointed about the draw at Chelsea. Feel like we should have got a win there. But, fair play. Martin Jerem is saying, if we take our chances at Old Trafford, we'll win. Don't set up too defensively. Man United will come at us, won't they? Man United will come at us, and that will suit us. Terry is saying, same team as Saturday at United, and they will shake with fear. Going to be exciting. Martin Jerem saying, if we take our chances... sorry, I've read that one. He's saying we will do all right. Don's come in and said... there are possibilities at taking 3 points at Man United, Arsenal as well as the Spurs. The opportunities are there this season. I think they are. I think Spurs could drop down a little bit. Arsenal could definitely drop down a bit. Chelsea could drop down a bit. And Man United could drop. There's 4 teams at the moment not looking solid. And there's people like Leicester, West Ham, Everton. Could be time for one of us to slip in, and obviously we're hoping it is going to be Leicester. Lesson 3 is saying we have got a better midfield, and that's where we'll win it, in the midfield area. Would you stay with the same team that we had against Bournemouth? I think I would be pretty much the same. Keith Paul is saying Ollie will be shaking his boots. What do you think? Here's a question for you. How do you think the Leicester players will be with Harry Maguire? I mean, they're all mates, so don't, it's like you going with your mates you've worked with for a couple of years and gone on holidays with and all that. They're not going to be riling, but there's going to be some banter, isn't it? Trust me. Jamie Vardy, Kasper Schmeichel, Ben Chilwell, all these, Damari Grays, all these players are going to really, really want to beat Man United and rub it into Harry Maguire's face, aren't they? Scott Ryan saying Maguire to get a red card. That'd be nice. Leslie Gill saying Maguire not fast enough to stop Vardy. Vardy against Harry Maguire. Listen, Harry Maguire's a great defender. Let's not forget that. But yeah, that would be nice to see Jamie Vardy leave Harry Maguire. He is not the fastest. You're absolutely right. I asked Lesson, would he stay with the same team that played against Bournemouth? But Lesson has come back, Lesson 3, and saying no, he would start Perez but keep everything else the same. Who would you drop out then, Lesson, if you're going to put Perez back in? I would not put Perez back in against Man United. That's just me. I would stick with how we had it set up. I would stick with Albrighton, and I just thought it was bang on Saturday. It was a good game, really enjoyable. Lewis is saying same team for me. I agree with you, Lewis. Why mess around with the team? Martin Jarram is saying Harry Maguire won't venture out of the box. He'll be scared stiff at our pace. Do you think he's going to like Söyüncü's new song? Which, listen, I'm only going on hearsay, but I heard a rumour that that's based on some sort of truth in the changing room. I'm talking sizes. Michael James, what have you heard on that? Not that we really want to get into that debate. John Squire saying stay with the same team, they're winners. Mick Paget saying Maguire not the fastest tracking back. He's not. We just know it. Look, they should know how to beat Maguire. Michael James saying Pratt will be a good addition to play there. Interesting. Pratt didn't feature at all, obviously, on Saturday in the Bournemouth win. Might take him a few weeks to settle in. He came in pretty much on transfer deadline day, didn't he, Pratt? So give him a chance to settle in. Mark Gatwell is saying Harry Maguire is still a unit, but yes, he could get frustrated and carded. Interesting. Rob Hilston saying bored of Maguire talk now. Sorry, Rob, we'll stop. Martin Jarram saying, yeah, can't wait for 90 minutes of the Maguire song with eight-year-old daughter asking questions. I know. I sit at the family stand, as you know, and you can just see, everybody there going, trust me, as a parent, I've taught my kids when they were little, when they were much smaller, all the wrong words to the songs because you like, but they get to a certain age where they just know what's going on. I've always said to my kids, what you hear at the football stays at the football. Do not come home and tell your mum what goes on, which is fine now because my two lads are a bit older and they can we can enjoy a pint of beer now. Michael Wheatley is saying, look, Michael's talking about Maguire. Look, I know you all keep going on about Maguire and we've been told no more Maguire talk, no more Söyüncü talk. Oh, forget it. Of course, we can talk about Maguire. Sean Crothers is saying, Brighton is a no-brainer. 109% in the starting 11. 109%. Rob's saying, no, not with you. Just in general, he's gone now. Well, Rob, listen, it's a topic because Söyüncü's playing so very, very well. And he has got a massive... He was massive in defence, shall we say. And the next game we're playing is Man United with Harry Maguire. That is what is going to be the talking point, I'm afraid, Rob, that Leicester are higher than Man United. Harry's made the wrong choice. That's what all the fans want to talk about over the next build-up to this game at Man United. And obviously, we've got Ben Chilwell and Maddison in the England squad. I think Harry's gone in the England squad, hasn't he? He's not injured, so... hopefully they'll be having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a dig in there and winding up some of the Man United things. John Squires is saying, let's talk City. Indeed, I think we are. Scott Ryan is saying, Söyüncü is far better. I think he wanted him out. I think wanted him out last season. Mark Wright is saying, I fancy us to win convincingly. I think Vardy will... I think Vardy will have field... I think Vardy will have a field day with Maguire if we play the same team. I couldn't spit it out then. Sorry, Mark. Andreas is saying dilly dong. Take us back. I'm gonna listen. That brings me on to something. The King Power atmosphere at the moment. Listen, I'm not gonna moan about it. It was okay on Saturday, but where have half the songs gone from a couple of years ago? Either if they're out, either let's sing them as a hark back to the Premier League winning season and the dilly dongs and all that. We can still sing those songs. I haven't heard those under the lights on a Wednesday night. All these songs, either sing them or rework them. But it seems like we've got about 3 or 4 songs this season and that's it. Is anybody else noticing it? I feel like. The range of... It's a funny thing to talk about, but it feels like there's not many different songs going around the ground. Some of the big songs that used to get everybody singing aren't being sung at the moment. And, hey, we need the guys in L Block and up in the corner, Union FS and the COP to sing some of the songs. Has anybody else noticed it, or is that just me? But certainly, I think we're missing some of the big songs from the past couple of seasons. I don't know why we've stopped singing them. Interesting thing. Another subject to talk about, just very briefly as well, is I don't know if any of you filled out the fans questionnaire about the ground expansion. Did any of you fill that out? Well, I did mine yesterday afternoon, and I found it very interesting that they're also, not only are they asking questions about the whole new top tier that they're putting on the East Stand, hopefully, and the entertainment in there. It doesn't look like it's going to be cheap, by the way, some of the stuff that's going on there. But there's a whole host of questions about an arena, and events going on at an arena. So I thought those plans had been shelved, that they were looking at building an arena, but they must be looking at it because they were asking, would you go and watch Jimmy Carr in an arena? Would you go and watch Disney's Dancing on Ice? So I thought that would be amazing. That must be part of their at least thinking that they might put an arena next to the King Power Stadium, because they're asking those questions. They're obviously feeling out. Did anybody else fill out the form and realise that's what those questions were about? I know that's a bit off topic, but blimey, that would be really nice to have King Power Stadium with 40-odd thousand fans and an arena with 6,000 fans next to us. Be perfect, if you ask me. Pete Hides is coming back to the football saying, I said we didn't need to replace Harry. Well done. Yeah, Alex Green is saying, I nearly choked when the first pricey option put £1,000 on my season ticket price. Trust me, Alex, I don't know where they think some of this money would be coming from. Some of the things on that questionnaire, I was like, listen, I have to pay for 4 tickets myself to take my kids. They're like, where would you rather sit? That seat for 800 quid a season ticket or that one 1,500 quid? I was like, none thanks. I'll sit where I sit in the family stand with the kids. Andy Price is saying the questionnaire was a load of nonsense. Who cares about the food? Yes, I know what you mean. Well, they obviously want to see what people want, and that's just a cheap pie, if you ask me. Not a deli thing. What's this new chant, says Lewis. Oh, I can't sing that. Don Cole is saying it's quite noticeable on TV. You can always hear the away fans chanting at our fans. Well, Don watches from America. Obviously on, I would think, NBC or whatever it is over there, Don. Definitely in the stadium, Don. And I know Don is coming over. He's coming over in November, so we're really looking forward to Don coming over and watching, I think, 4 games while he's over here. Part-time supporter, Don, obviously. Only 4 in the season. Just a I don't know, 6,000 mile round trip. But yeah, even Don's noticed it on the telly. I definitely think the atmosphere's just a lack of a variety of songs. Keith Goodall saying they might be looking at the Rico. It's a successful entertainment venue. Now they don't have football. It is, to be fair. It is, you're right, Keith. I went to see the Spice Girls there just a few weeks ago, which is better than any football that goes on there anymore. Mick Paget saying build the arena and name it the Vichy Arena. Great idea there, Mick. Well done with that. That's a great thought. Andy Price is saying what we want is cheap extra seats. I would agree with you, Andy, on that. I would think if you're building another 8,000 seats, I would make them, and they're going to be high up. I would, if it was me, I would be making them cheap. It'd be much better to have a ground with 40,000 fans in it than a 40,000 seater stadium with a couple of thousand empty ones. Imtiaz, welcome Imtiaz, says exactly. Wages must be increasing day by day, but not the general public's. No, I just don't know where some of these prices, like somebody said, were amazing. Pete Hides is saying, I'm PTS, how can I watch the games? Yes, I know, Pete. Steve Yates is saying Fuchs was lucky to lose his starting place, was unlucky after his brilliant performances. He was, to be fair. I thought Fuchs was unlucky, but I thought Chilwell did well, if I'm honest. Now listen, we said we've got only a couple of minutes left. I wanted to, briefly, I'm going to say well done to the pizza winner. We had quite a lot of people say Vardy in 3-1. So I picked one out at random earlier, and that is, can you see the name there? Can you read my writing? The pizza winner was Ellis Jeeves. Ellis Jeeves is the pizza winner, so I will get 2 pizzas from Peters to them. Just want to touch on VAR. Now we saw, I'm going to say it, the VAR experience as a fan in the ground. Again, Don, you're watching on TV and others of you might be watching on other streams, shall we say. But when you're in the ground, VAR, we have got absolutely diddly squat idea what is going on, and it's rubbish. They need to sort it, because we paid 30 quid, 20 quid, 40 quid, whatever you paid to sit in the ground. You paid a lot of money to sit there and watch it. And as an entertainment element, the VAR could be really exciting, and it's not. It's the exact opposite. It's rubbish in the ground. With the Tielemans moment this week, which was a big talking point, it looked a nothing tackle, and to be fair, it wasn't a tackle. It didn't look like a tackle in the ground. We were like, what is that Bournemouth player doing flailing around on the floor? And when I've watched it back later on Match of the Day and in replays several times, it wasn't a tackle. Tielemans he's turning the ball, and he's not even looking where he's putting his foot. It's just, you have to put your foot down on the ground somewhere. He's placing his foot down on the ground. Anyway, in the stadium, we didn't have the foggiest what was going on. They did the 3 minutes worth of injury for the player to finally realise he wasn't dead. And then we were like, why aren't they restarting? Because there was nothing. There was nothing on the screens, nothing there. And then it suddenly comes up after about another minute, VAR check. Well, in the ground, we didn't have the foggiest. You guys watching on streams abroad probably did know what was going on, and you were probably watching replays. So you're getting a better experience than us guys who paid the hard money to go in and cheer the lads on. And I just think it is poor from a fan's experience in the ground. Added to that, I don't know what you think, but a lot of people are saying that they thought that VAR then got it wrong and Tielemans should have been off. I actually thought VAR got it right. Mark Keith is saying VAR replays are shown at the rugby. They certainly are, Keith. And Keith says they have to start doing that at football. Those not interested can get out. Yeah, I agree. Brian Marshall saying VAR is poop. Kyron O'Connor's saying they need to show it on the big screens like they do in rugby. It's so obvious. Just show it. Why not show it? At rugby, you get to hear on the screens as well. They use the tannoys to tell you. You can hear what the ref and the VAR are saying. At least if we could see what they're checking, we can go, oh yeah, well Tielemans he has put his foot on his leg, you know. At least we could be part of it. Worse still than that, by the way, I'll read some of your VAR comments out there. It was such a shame because it all happened just at the moment, which should have been the 55th minute. There was a minute's applause planned, and that was a shame that didn't happen. So I don't know if any of the rest of you realised that didn't really happen. I certainly didn't hear it where we were. I think it all got lost in the injury and what was going on and the VAR. Everybody I don't even think it showed the time on the screen, so I think everybody didn't know what was going on. So that 55th minute for me didn't really happen, and if you guys agree, I think we should do it at the next home match, which is the Spurs game. So let me know in your comments if you did hear the 55th minute. Let me know, because I certainly didn't hear it where I was. I completely, if I'm honest, I was caught up in the game and the injury and the VAR. It slipped my mind, which I feel bad about. But if you missed it or didn't hear it, or if you think we should do it at the Spurs game, let us know. We've got to go soon. It's 9 o'clock. But I'm just going to read out your last few comments about VAR and that. VAR is poor and it's Puel's fault, says Kerry. Of course it's Puel's fault. Absolutely. We always end the show with it being Puel's fault, and VAR is Puel's fault. Don Cole saying, here in the stadium, you'll see the instant replays. Yes, in the States. Carlos saying, VAR, too much stoppage time. 7 minutes of stoppage time, to be fair, this time. Steve Yates says, the only VAR we need is VAR DY Vardy. That's very good, very clever. Jordan Williams is saying, football's corrupt though, ain't it? I'm not sure what you're on about there. Mick Paget saying the TV doesn't know what's going on with VAR. I know Match of the Day. They didn't have the foggiest. They don't understand what's going on. Alex Green is saying there was one game this weekend where a clear penalty was missed by VAR. If you were a Villa fan, you'd be gutted with VAR after that mess. I think it's ruining football, says Brian. Paul Spilling is saying, is Love Island on? No, but 9 o'clock. What is on Monday at 9 o'clock? I don't know. But Love Island's not on, so there'll be something else on. Joanna Astley is saying, when is the photo comp? Yes, I need to do that this week, Joanna. Well done for getting on my case. The emergency glazing supplies have given us the pick whatever prize you want. Send us your photo in. I'm going to pick that out. I'll do a live. It's International Break Week, so we've got time this week to sort the competitions out. Don't forget, I nearly forgot, my brother Will would shoot me. You still got chance, and I'll put the link in to have a go on this raffle. It's a signed Leicester City shirt from last season. Don't forget, I'll put a link in. It's £1 a go. You can have 5 goes, you can have 10 goes. It costs you a £5 or a tenner. It's up to you. We've just raised over 300 quid so far with that, so there's still a chance. We're going to draw that in the next week or so. The guys at Pink Vehicle Leasing have given us another pink shirt to do. I'm going to go and I'll do a live video from the ground tomorrow about that as well. So loads of competitions to keep going. It is 9 o'clock, so I'm going to start rounding up. And the last couple of comments before I say cheerios. Mick Paget saying the only time you know the ref is checking VR, he touches his ear. Although he does that to talk to his linos, doesn't he? Don Cole says Villa were robbed. They certainly were. And what's the point, Don, in having VAR if they can't sort out that Villa game? That's the whole point of VAR, isn't it? To sort out the big issues. So VAR wasn't used to check Grealish and that a goal, but it was used to check Tielemans just putting his foot on the ground. And so be it, the Bournemouth player had put his player underneath it. Celebrity MasterChef, says Paul Spelling, that's what's on. Mark Gatwood is saying Love Island should be banned for life. Andy Price is saying it is Celebrity MasterChef. That's where everybody's going to go and watch. What's predictions for the Man United game, says Leicester. We'll come on to that next week when we look forward to the Man United game. Andy Price is saying VAR is great for armchair fans, but rubbish for us fans at the game. You're bang on, Andy. That is exactly what VAR is incredibly exciting if you're watching on telly. In the ground, it's like them saying, you lot can just not be... It's like they don't bother about us fans. Had that debate before. Pay your 30 quid and don't get to be told what's going on. Scott Ryan is saying, oh, VAR. Jordan's saying, hate Villa anyway, so who cares about them? Listen, thanks everybody for watching. If you can like and share this video. Thanks to these guys, as ever. Emergency Glazing, ADT, Everard's, Peter's Pizzas, Pink Vehicle Leasing, Hologram, the Fox's Arms in Alcudia. It's still open for another few weeks. Get out there. Harlow Geek, Life Repair, Bodie Hodges. Go like these people because they help us out. If you can like them, I appreciate it. They all appreciate it. But without these guys, we couldn't do the competitions. We couldn't keep buying new equipment and bringing you away day fan reports, kit rooms, all these things. So that's great. Thank you to all the people who've been watching. Don Cole, Andreas, Kerry, Andy Young, Lesson Freer, Paul Spilling, Daz Davis, Scott Ryan, Jordan Williams, Carolyn O'Connor, Stephen Price, Kieran, Lesson, Mick Paget, of course, Michael Wheatley, Kerry Rambridge, Don Cole. If I said Don, it's like playing the generation game. Mark Gatwood, Andy Price, all of you who've been watching, appreciate it. Chappers should be live on Wednesday at 8, if we can get back on the internet. Long story there. Kit Room's on Thursday, I'm hoping, even though we've not got a match this week. So hopefully the guys will still do a show, do some stats, look at the fantasy football, which I had an amazing weekend on. Hope you all did well. See you soon. Bye.